Barb, you can let people in now.
Okay, I'm going to mute myself right now, okay? Hi, Casey.
Hello.
Hi. Is this supposed to start? I'm in Japan. I'm a little confused.
Yeah, it starts now, Beverly.
Okay, I have music playing here. Is that okay?
Oh, I thought that was coming. Probably you want.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Microphone is on.
It's really nice though, Bev.
I thought it was part.
Just wait another minute or a few more moments to let everyone in. So we'll begin. Welcome, everyone. Good evening. I'm going to start by asking everyone to please make sure that your sound is muted. We are so thrilled to share this sacred day on the Buddhist calendar with all of you. As many of you know, today is the main celebration day of Saka Dawa, which commemorates the combined events of Buddha's birth, death, and enlightenment. On this day, it is said that the power of every act is multiplied infinitely, so it is truly a most auspicious day. My name is Suzanne Lucas, and I've been a volunteer at Buddhist Prison Ministry almost since its inception, working closely with Susan Shannon, its founder, closely in many different ways. Susan describes me as being the knitting needles to her yarn. For those of you new to Buddhist Prison Ministry, or BPM, We freely offer transformative tools and wisdom from the Buddhist tradition to people impacted by incarceration. Our courses and workbooks are written specifically for the incarcerated people in accessible language through an interfaith and secular lens, designed to cultivate self-awareness, impulse control, emotional literacy, compassion, connection, and interconnection. And after being fiscally sponsored for the last 3 years, we have just filed for our own nonprofit status. We are thrilled to share our most recent project with you tonight and have packed quite a lot into 1 hour, so we might go over. But we'll send out a recording to everyone who has registered. And also, we will not have time for a Q&A tonight, but we'll be sending out a short questionnaire to everyone who's registered. And if any questions arise, you can post them there. So tonight, we'll start by hearing from our founder, Susan Shannon, who will guide us through a short grounding meditation and later share the continued vision of BPM. You'll hear testimonials from our incarcerated Sangha learners through the voices of our volunteers and our board members. Thank you so much for making sure you're muted. Then we'll be able to hear from Jacqueline Ingram, a formerly incarcerated learner and a Taras Sisters Sangha member. We'll connect with Juan Velasco, a professor at Santa Clara University and a collaborator for our latest Spanish language offering. Then we'll hear an inspiring message from our treasurer and board member, Jeff Marcoux, and Barbara Juniper, another longtime volunteer of Buddhist Prison Ministry, will help close our evening with a short contemplation. We'll dedicate the merit and end our evening. So before I pass it on to Susan, I just want to share with you a common prayer in the Tibetan Buddhist tradition that is an homage to the power of awakened heart, known as bodhicitta. And it goes like this. May the precious bodhicitta arise where it has not arisen, and once arisen, may it never subside, but increase more and more. Bodhicitta, the awakened heart, the mind aimed at awakening for the benefit of all beings. This is the goal of all of our offerings. And hold this thought for a moment, because what you're about to hear tonight is a living example of how the smallest act from a kind heart can cause a wave of incredible change. To give us an idea of how that happened is my dear friend, mentor, founder, and director of BPM, Reverend Susan Shannon. Susan has been, as she puts it, married to the Dharma since 1971. She studied Chinese Buddhism in Taiwan, took refuge with His Holiness the Dalai Lama in 1979, and was endorsed as a Buddhist chaplain in 2012, which authorized her to teach and serve the men of San Quentin, including death row. She holds a Master of Divinity, is an ordained interfaith chaplain and minister, and has led programs in restorative justice, emotional literacy, and trauma healing behind prison walls for decades. Everyone, please welcome Reverend Susan Shannon.
Thank you, Suzanne. That was beautiful. It's so thrilling to see as many people here as I see. This story of Buddhist Prison Ministry's origin is one that has been my hope to spread far and wide, especially since COVID, because I feel this story is gasoline to fuel the power of good, the power of the small act. It's proof that one small thought in a hidden place, even by somebody condemned to die, can spark such an incredible program as this one. So what I'd like to do is invite you to witness the birth moment of BPM. First, we'll do a little bit of a grounding, and then I'm going to take you on a journey that I wish everyone in the world could have been with me that night in death row. So I know you all have had a a Sunday already. We've all been kind of busy probably. I know I've been walking in circles, so excited about this event. So let's just breathe together. Let's just feel our feet nice and flat on our Mother Earth. We have people across the country. We have people on the other side of the world here with us tonight. Let's just breathe together and imagine that we're all united in this incredible offering of kindness, of altruism. And let's inhale and exhale, imagining we're all finding each other across the miles, and an inhale and an exhale. And one more. And I invite you to settle into your body and let me take you with me on one of my last nights on death row in 2019. We're walking through the middle of San Quentin State Prison, towering cell blocks on either side. Continue to walk to the very end of the long corridor, and we turn left and we face two massive doors about 8 feet tall with the words condemned row above them. We ring a buzzer outside of the doors, and an armed guard comes out, opens the gate, lets us in. We go through the large doors, and immediately we put on our heavy Kevlar green bulletproof, stab-proof vest, as everyone must who enters this cell block. We sign in, we go through 2 more locked gates. We walk down the left side of the cell block past 50 cells, 4 by 9, each with a man living out the rest of his life, some there over 40 years. Above us are 4 more tiers, a total of over 500 men housed in this block. You can hear them yelling. You can hear TVs. You can smell the smell of a enclosed building with over 500 men living 24 hours. And still, we walk all the way down to the very end of the block to our makeshift chapel. We step up to our pulpit, which is enclosed in 2 layers of diamond wire, stainless steel, but black with years and years of filth. In front of us is a 12 by 20 room that used to be a shower. Heavy benches bolted into the ground. We can hear the men coming for our Buddhist service. Shackles, chains, friendly chatter with their cheer guards as the cheer guards bring them in to the other end of the chapel and release them. One by one, the men come up to say hello. They put their hands on the diamond wire as close as they can get to a handshake. And they say, thank you, thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here, just as they have for the last 9 years. For the last 9 years, we've started our groups, setting our aspiration, and we end our groups with a dedication. Tonight is no different. We sit together like we all have, we breathe, we visualize everyone we've lived with, we travel with, our loved ones, our enemies, people we'll never know. We visualize them all with us. And we ask ourselves, why are we here? And every night we know why we're here. It's to celebrate the teachings of the Dharma. It's to find and fan that spark of awakening in all of us. The men know that I'll be leaving California soon. They know that we must keep all the good work that we've done alive. But how? The secret hope in my heart is they will remember aspiration and dedication. But we talk about what can we do? What can they do? How can we pay forward all the good study and meditation, all the good transformational practices we've learned together and practiced? How can we pay that forward? And each man sitting there on the bench is thinking. And one man goes by the name of Redwood for his love of trees. He sits straight up and he thrusts his hand in the air and he said, I know, let's create a correspondence course. We can create a course out of everything that we've learned, and we can offer it to other people on death rows around the United States, especially women who are so underserved. And one by one, all the men say, yes, that's a great idea. And I am so excited, and I can just feel this happening. And I ask, would any of you be willing to test drive what I write? I can write lessons of everything that we've studied, and I'll put in integration questions. And 8 of the men eagerly agree. At the end of our session, we're all very excited. We dedicate the merit of our hour together. I walk out of the block, putting my vest on the cabinet and signing out. I walk out the corridor, through the long, long walk to the rotunda of the prison. I sign out and walk along the sidewalk, seeing San Francisco glistening with light on the right side across the bay. And I think, oh my gosh, what just happened? And now, fast forward 5 years, 4 years, our workbooks have been accessed by over 65,000 men and women behind bars. Over 65,000. COVID, which took away so much collectively, individually, acted like a forest fire to a pine cone with Buddhist prison ministry. Transfers happened. The loose page lessons I was sending into death row made their way into the mainline population there. And those men, many of them were transferred out of San Quentin as COVID ravaged. And our program found its way in other prisons in California. And eventually across the United States, very, very quickly, within a year, we were in every state in the United States. And this, to me, is a story that I wish the world could hear. The Dalai Lama said at a teaching I was at with him one day, somebody asked him, "Your Holiness, what exactly is a bodhisattva?" And he said, a bodhisattva, the awakened warrior of the heart, awakened heart hero, is not just a person, is not always just a person. Anytime anybody has a thought of anything that they wish could be of benefit to other sentient beings, in that moment, that person is a bodhisattva. So it's my honor and a dream come true for me to share this story with you all. The power of the small act from a man condemned to die in an invisible place that almost no one can go. I had the blessing when I went back to death row every year up until it was dismantled a few years ago. And I told Redwood, guess what? At that point, our programs had been accessed around 35,000 times. And he wept. He wept tears of joy. Thank you.
So now I just wanted to share with you a few of just a visual of the letters, the hundreds of letters that BPM receives, and then we'll hear from some of our volunteers.
Thank you, Suzanne. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
So yes. Oh, sorry. Am I jumping?
Go ahead.
Okay. Each one of our course books has 12 modules, and each module has integration questions that were crafted based on the many years and over 1,000 men that I was able to work with in various programs, all aimed at transformation, not just rehabilitation, but transformation. The people taking our courses, if they want a certificate of completion, they write to us, and those are the letters that Suzanne showed, some of them anyway. And I want to also say that the number of 65,000 would not have been possible without the introduction of tablets to the prisons. So many of those were not hard copy, they were done on our tablets. You're going to hear some letters, excerpts from letters. You're going to hear, for those of you who maybe not aren't familiar with Buddhist practice, you'll hear some reference to practices such as aspiration and dedication, 6 perfections, Brahma Viharas, 4 immeasurables, etc. So off we go.
This reflection falls under aspiration dedication. I did the aspiration dedication practices while being transferred between prisons. The journey totaled 4 days of having my hands and feet shackled, of being searched, loaded, and unloaded from buses and treated as less than human. But each morning, I set my intention to use mind, speech, and body in a beneficial way, as stated in the aspiration prayer. This practice helped me to view the experiences. So at the end of the day, despite the otherwise grueling circumstances and conditions, I bookended the day with the dedication that all beings realize good energy. My practice each day of setting the aspirations, dedications, absolutely affected events throughout the trip. Not only was my perception positively impacted, but everyone around me was clearly being uplifted by the energy generated. Despite being one of the most daunting transfers I have experienced, it was the best of all the experiences that we could have had.
Ange, are you ready to read?
And we're not hearing you. There you go. You need to unmute.
And you're still muted.
While she unmutes, I'd like you all to really feel into your bodies when you hear these letters. See if there's anything at all that is being said that challenges your previous ideas about the incarcerated. Really feel into what pings you. Go ahead, Ange.
Holy place. I'm trying to work on my spiritual growth as much as I can while I'm in this holy place, removed from the rest of society. I can't thank you enough for your support, for providing resources to hold on in the way. I pray that something familiar and mundane gains new light for you, as it has for me.
6 perfections. The 6 perfections are out of this world. They take the 4 immeasurables and split them into 6, the Eightfold Path into 6. I've spent a great deal of time studying these. I created flashcards, as your workbook suggested, and walk around with them until the end of the day. I share them with my fiance, and she thinks it's great that I'm learning. The more I familiarize myself with the 6 perfections and the 4 immeasurables, the more I'm aware of them in myself and others. It's mind-boggling how often they show up.
I'm a male to female transgender woman in solitary confinement. So I've had to search for my own resources to help guide me in my journey. I've completed all the workbooks available from BPM. I've even made my own mala, as suggested in your workbook, using a string that I've dyed dark red with crayon shavings, and making the 27 knots for my mantras when I meditate and chant.
Here's a very succinct letter. I started taking your courses on the Edovo app on my tablet, and all I can say is, wow, what a game changer. I no longer feel lost. It's like everything I've always thought and believed deep down has come to fruition. I feel at home finally. My life will never be the same.
The letter I'm going to read next is from Snake River Correctional Institution, the first prison sangha to form around the use of our course books. The outside volunteer who leads the group writes, about 20 members of our prison sangha joined us in Dharma studies class, where we used the information books you sent us a couple of years ago. We are ever grateful for all you are doing for incarcerated men looking for their soul and spirit. And from an incarcerated member of this same group, the experience of exploring the questions as a group brought us a deeper understanding, not only of the teachings, but of each other. Over the last several months, we've become Sangha in all caps. We now hand the books out to our meditation group every week. They provide a baseline for discussion, reference for students and teachers alike.
Thank you for Workbook 3, Meditation Practice. I have never once missed a day of meditation, which is hard to do when in a jail with 10 to 13 guys in the same room for 24 hours a day. According to research, it normally takes 40 days to pick up or lose a habit. I have started this 40-day program to establish new, healthy, and beneficial habits. I keep a journal so I can hold myself accountable. I use the 3 gates of body, speech, and mind, so I start with 1 for each gate. Then, when the 40 days are completed, I pick 3 new ones.
Bev, are you ready to share?
My apologies. This essay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. This essay reminded me of what Suzanne Lucas started by telling us about awakening. See if you see the same awakening that I saw. This is a great course because it speaks the truth in a clear and concise way. Studying this course was like being in the presence of the Buddha Dharma. I wish that more people around the world could find this course, especially kids around the world. If this course can be offered in the major crime cities in America, I know it will impact the kids and their community. The violence will end. If this course can be made available to the kids in the third world Buddhist countries, I know it will help rejuvenate Buddhism and bring light to these Buddhist regions. I feel the youth of the world will benefit from this course. Please find a way of offering this course to the youth because I know it will impact them and the world in a positive way. This course is a Dharma jewel.
I have one more. I think we have room. Learning and practicing the Buddha Dharma has been transformative in my life, and it is because of the dedication and compassion of organizations like yours that I can embrace the practices. Thank you for directing your loving kindness and your compassion towards a marginalized community. May your efforts continue to ease our suffering and the suffering of our victims, which was caused by our self-centered greed, anger, and ignorance. May forgiveness and reconciliation foster healing for the sake of all beings.
Thank you, everyone. So now we'll hear from, I'm going to introduce you to Jacqueline Ingram. And Jacqueline is a federally registered medical technologist, human rights advocate, holistic mediator, and mortuary science graduate, who's currently writing a memoir about her 5-year-old daughter lost to cancer last year. While incarcerated, she earned the Distinguished Taurus Sisters designation through BPM by completing a rigorous curriculum in Buddhism, sacred feminine studies, and personal transformation, all materials that BPM offers. We are delighted to welcome Jacqueline and share that she is no longer behind bars. Welcome, Jacqueline. We're looking forward to hearing you tell us a little bit about how our program supported you and others on the inside, or anything else you'd like to share with us tonight.
Hi there, Jacqueline Ingram coming here from Florida. And I just would I love this opportunity to be able to tell everyone that the empowerment and the connection that manifested following the education and the influence of Buddhist prison ministries team while I was incarcerated has impacted my spiritual resilience through the philosophy of Buddhism's loving kindness. And as everyone has experienced, the last few years have brought many of us headfirst towards tremendous growing points in our lives. And yeah, with that being said, I'm grateful to be sharing this moment with all of you here today in the Gathering of Light.
Thank you so much, Jacqueline.
Thank you, guys.
And now our next guest, another dear, dear friend, longtime mentor, probably one of my first Buddhist mentors, Juan Velasco. And it would actually take me many, many minutes to share all of Juan's accomplishments. But in brief, he's a practitioner, a writer, and teacher of Zen Buddhism for nearly 4 decades, a professor of literature at Santa Clara University in the Department of English. He's created Programa Velasco in 2007 through a Jesuit study abroad program. It's a really inspiring nonprofit for women and children in El Salvador. And recently, Juan has entered the social media scene with his YouTube channel, La Cama de la Palabra. I really encourage everyone to check it out. They're very short, beautifully done meditations and contemplations, all in the Spanish language. When I first saw this offering, I reached out to Juan to see if he would be open for us to share it with our incarcerated community. And not only did he agree, he went a step further and had his students help craft an entire course behind his Spanish short video presentation. So please, everyone, welcome Juan Velasco.
Thank you, everyone. It is so wonderful to be here with all of you today in this gathering of light. And buenas tardes. I'm so happy that you found me, Susan, and that you have been supporting this collaboration, Susan. This is really, truly magical. A year ago, I decided that, we needed to enter into the social media scene and see how the Dharma plays in these kind of communities. And I created this YouTube channel in Spanish. I just shared the link with you. If you subscribe, the algorithms will be very kind to me and will be sending that to hundreds of people, Spanish-speaking people around the world. Um, so, and yes, I think many people found me. Suzanne found me. And so far, so good. These very short guided meditations in Spanish, they are focusing on two aspects of the Dharma, which is la calma, the calm, and the wisdom, right? The sabiduría, the wisdom that comes with this calmness. So I use these words to just teach all kinds of people um, how to find this calm and how to investigate the wisdom that comes with the stillness. And out of that, of course, how to act in the world, how to be able to help all sentient beings. Um, they're very interfaith guided meditations, and I used a lot of poetic language to be able to explain some of the most difficult concepts of the Dharma. So the language is very accessible. And I like how it works and the reactions I'm getting from many different kinds of people. The most exciting aspect of this project, though, and I'm very grateful to Buddhist Prison Ministry for facilitating this, was how my students were actually so excited to get into the project. So we worked with 4 students. 3 of them are English majors, and 2 of them were my peer educators in a meditation creative writing class that I teach here at Santa Clara University. And they totally loved it. We were able to transcribe all the guided meditations, organize them in a coherent way. So it could be sort of like a introduction course to meditation and mindfulness. And we also crafted some of the questions that might help the audience, the Spanish-speaking audience, people in the prison system, to be able to start this process of discernment, this process of understanding who I am, where I'm at in my life, and what is it that I would like to learn out of this? How would I like to grow by understanding the Dharma? So we worked with Suzanne. My students gave me all the work, and we developed these sort of like books that hopefully will be able to, like Susan was saying, to create transformation. So every thought, every action, every moment becomes a bodhisattva in this world. I'm very grateful for this collaboration. It is very exciting, and I just want you to know, Susan and Suzanne, that you already achieved transformation. My students were really grateful and excited and learned a lot by doing this kind of work with you. So we are grateful, and hopefully we'll continue this collaboration. I'm very excited to meet all of you. I hope I will be coming back over and over again whenever you have these meetings. And check out this YouTube channel, send it to everyone. If you are not bilingual or trilingual, you can click the settings and then choose your favorite language in the world, and YouTube will translate it for you. So thank you, everyone, in this wonderful, great gathering of light, and may all sentient beings attain enlightenment. This is exactly what we need in this moment in the world. Gracias.
Gracias. So grateful for you, Juan. Thank you so much. Now we'll turn it back over to Susan.
So yeah, after our workbooks got up and running and we got a good flow going with, am I muted? I'm okay. I started having further vision. So further vision a couple of years ago meant recognizing the need to connect with more prison chaplains. Prisons across the United States, once you get out of California or the West Coast, it's mostly Christian, and there's a lot of bias against anything that's not. So it was really my goal to create more connection with prison chaplains who are often quite burnt out and left alone with a lot of red tape and not a lot of spirit and heart. So our initiatives, BPM's initiatives a couple of years ago, was to create more connection with chaplains. And I'm so pleased to say that we hear from chaplains 3 or 4 or 5 times a week now across the country. We have quite a list of people that we've connected with, and we've also connected them up now with the Chaplaincy Innovation Lab, where they get a big discount on any of the programs and supportive work that Chaplaincy Innovation Lab does. Our other initiative of the last year was to create more Spanish content. And here comes one. So we are quite lucky with these ideas that then come to fruition quite quickly. This year, my hope is twofold. One, to get more volunteers into prisons to teach our workbooks. There are a number of sanghas inside prisons across the United States that are using our courses to study and to create new sanghas. But there's also a need for outside volunteers in those prisons that don't allow inmate-led groups. So my hope is to create more of a awareness of the need for volunteers to go into prisons. We've created some training videos that are available for people who are interested. To that end, I've also partnered with Upaya Chaplaincy Program, Upaya Zen Center, where anybody who enrolls there who's interested in prison or jail ministry, who can actually find a placement, can use our workbooks and get training into teaching Dharma with the incarcerated. I want to say a little bit about how we've come this far. Believe it or not, we've done all of this on less than $20,000. Our program has been funded by organizations like the Khyentse Foundation, the Kirtanwala Foundation, which is Krishna Das's foundation, the Pema Children Foundation, the Lens Foundation, and numerous private donors. We are now working on creating a version of our course books that will be available to the general public, because currently they're only available to the incarcerated. We have 50 more uploads to do this July that will include more podcast episodes, that will include more meditations, including Juan's beautiful meditations, that will include a forgiveness course. Suzanne, did you want to roll the images here?
Yes, 1 second.
We have this book. This is a beautiful book that's made free through the Wisdom Foundation. They have given us permission to offer this book up to men and women incarcerated across the country. Dying in prison is everybody's worst nightmare and fear. Grief and loss, unprocessed grief and loss, is said to be at the core of almost all recidivism and so much violence. So this book is in the works to offer to the incarcerated population. This is our forgiveness workbook that Suzanne is working closely with Eileen Barker and some of her people to translate this into language for the incarcerated. And this is one of our real prize goals, is to get this book out there. Last year, Barbara Juniper created the Divine Feminine course that has been so popular, that is one of the courses in becoming a Tara sister. And to our great surprise, we had quite a few men take the Divine Feminine course, and a lot of trans inmates loved our Divine Feminine course, and everybody was asking for a course on the sacred masculine. So Suzanne and others have been working really hard to get this up and running. And Barbara Juniper, again, is working with me, but mostly her, to do a course on the 21 Taras. Tara, the divine feminine manifestation in Tibetan Buddhism, Guanyin, and other forms of Buddhism, was mentioned in our Divine Feminine course. And there were so many people who took that course that had never heard of Tara before. But they would write to us, "Oh my God, Tara, I can't quit thinking about Tara. I've been drawing Tara. I have a picture of Tara on my cell. I'm doing Tara's mantra." Tara just blew up in the prisons. So we decided that we would do another course based on the 21 Taras. Here are our courses from the first couple of years, beautified by the wonderful Suzanne Lucas, because my versions were all black and white and cut and paste. The Introduction to Buddhism, which is based on the 23-page outline I went through. It took me 3 years with the death row and mainline guys in San Quentin. Below that, you see the second workbook in 3 different parts, because it was so long, so full, and obviously to Suzanne anyway, needed to be split up into 3 different parts. There's entering the path, there's walking the talk, and there's meditation practices. And then the Divine Feminine, which I mentioned, and then a wonderful video course on reactivity from the Buddhist perspective that is available only online. These are courses that we have had going now for some years. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. And now we'll hear from Jeff Marcoux, who is our board member and treasurer. Jeff is a long-term practitioner who's been volunteering at San Quentin Rehabilitation Center since 2013 with Buddha Dharma Sangha. And we've asked him here to share a message about the impact of Dharma can have on the incarcerated. Welcome, Jeff.
Thank you, Suzanne. Yeah, I was fortunate that Susan and I crossed paths about 10 years ago when she came into the Buddha Dhamma Sangha at San Quentin to talk to the guys. And, I think after that, we hadn't talked until like 2 months ago. And then we just reconnected, and I was just in awe of how much, how far Buddhist prison ministry has come with such few dollars, and without any formal organization. So I encourage her. I think, although Susan, you are already thinking about it, maybe on the fence, but we got the filing started to become a legitimate 501c3. It's now in the IRS's hands to process that, but that will help ensure that we have funds, resources, and direction to just to continue this incredible impact that that she's had already. And having been at San Quentin for over 10 years in a Sangha environment, and to bear witness to the transformation and the redemption that can come about, behind bars, and it's just been inspiring, and it's helped my own practice, because I've been following their lead sometimes, and so yeah, I'm just again can't believe my good fortune that I can be a part of this organization, and without question, the Dharma is the greatest moral compass that there is, and obviously, as shown by the letters that have been read, it's pretty clear how it can have an impact on someone's life. So anyway, well, thank you for everyone for all the parts that you play and supporting us and being friends of the Dharma, and thank you for your practice.
Thank you, Jeff. And now we'll hear from Barbara. Try to spotlight you.
Oh, hello everyone. And my first thing I want to say is to just thank each and every one of you for coming here tonight and for sharing in our great rejoicing in the power of bodhicitta. It's just so amazing to be part of this incredible blossoming. And in this gathering of light, you've witnessed the expansive power of bodhicitta that began with one good thought, with one man who was a condemned man in prison in one moment in time. And then right then and right there, the potential for goodness was born. And it's just, again, I can't say what it's been for me to just watch it in this kind of effortless way, just grow and expand and grow and expand. And Susan would have a thought and it's like, boom, there was the solution right there. So really, if there was one thing that I'd love for each one of you to carry away from this evening, it's just the deep understanding of the infinite power of one kind thought, one kind word, one kind action that's actually fueled by bodhicitta. That you never ever underestimate the power of bodhicitta. And as I was thinking about, closing this amazing evening out, I was remembering being in the High Sierra and finding a seed of a sequoia, a giant sequoia, and it fit on the end of my finger, like my little finger. And just like that seed grows one of the largest trees on the planet, so too the seed of bodhicitta has the power to benefit just infinite beings. And in the days that follow this, I'm sure there's a lot of sensations you've been experiencing and thoughts and feelings. And in these days to come, I just invite you to consider, what seeds of bodhicitta are you being called to plant in your day-to-day life? And find what's alive in you. And it may just be a smile to someone. I mean, like Susan was saying, it doesn't have to be anything bigger than a thought to benefit a being, and you automatically become a bodhisattva. So I just like to end with a quote from the Dalai Lama. The highest perfection of altruism, the ultimate altruism, is bodhicitta, the aspiration to bring about the welfare of all sentient beings and to attain Buddhahood for their sake. Bodhicitta is truly the heart essence of all the teachings of the Buddha. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. And I was not able to mention before she started speaking that Barbara was the author, I just wanted to point out, of this Sacred Feminine, and is also working on the 21 Taras. And she also has recorded this amazing Medicine Buddha mantra that is heavily accessed by our incarcerated learning on the tablet. And that's available on her website if you ever want to hear it, barbarajuniper.com. So miraculously, we're going to finish on time. I'm so happy about that we were able to get everything in this evening. I just want to thank each and every one of you for being here tonight and let you know that I'll be reaching out in the next couple of days with just a couple of very brief questions, and we really would love to hear your feedback. And if you're inspired by BPM, Buddhist Prison Ministry, to please let other people know. So we'll close our evening out in a most traditional way by, as Susan was talking about earlier, by dedicating the immense merit of coming together and having this conversation and perhaps planting some seeds of bodhicitta on this very sacred day, Saka Dawa. May the merit of this gathering ripple outward to all beings without exception. May it ease suffering, awaken hearts, and inspire even the smallest acts of kindness. Thank you again, everyone. Susan, do you want to say any last closing word?
Well, one of the miracles of the day is that we are actually ending on time. And for me, I feel like anybody who adheres to the teachings of the Dharma, our job is to do what we can do to uncover light in the most invisible, darkest places. Our world is like a house on a shaky foundation right now. And let's all do what we can do to fix that foundation. Blessings to all of you. I'm so happy to be able to share this night with you. Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. This is Terry McCaffrey. Thank you.